JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Clarendon construction worker charged with rape of 14-year-old. 46-year-old Harold Gordon, otherwise called Sugar Marvin or Plavin, a construction worker for Douglas Drive address in Maple and Clarendon, was arrested and charged with rape in relation to an incident that occurred on Monday, March 1 this year. Reports are that a 14-year-old girl went to her stepfather's house when Gordon took her inside the house and had sexual intercourse with her, which resulted in her being pregnant. A report was made to the police. An investigation carried out and Gordon was arrested. Following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney, Gordon was charged, the police said. Bath residents on edge as Davian Bryan still at large. As the community of Bath, St. Thomas, grapples with fear as fugitive Davian Bryan remains elusive, the police have given the assurance that the search for the suspected child abductor continues. Commanding Officer of the St. Thomas Police Division, Superintendent Alison Byfield, said that the team has employed new strategies in its attempt to apprehend him. We're still hunting Bryan in the Bath and other areas. We have extended our search to Portland, where he is from, but we are concentrating our efforts in the St. Thomas space because we honestly believe, and our intel is telling us, that he remains in this space, she said. The local authorities have led a 2-week-long multi-agency search for the man implicated in the abduction of 2 girls, a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old in Bath, in mid-October. Though the number of people on the trail has dwindled, Byfield maintained that the efforts of the police remain concerted. We have not gone cold as it relates to the hunt for him, said Byfield. Bryan was on bail for rape and firearm charges in Norwich, Portland. As a condition of his bail, it was ordered by the court to reside outside of the community for the victim's protection. The brutality of the alleged July 11, 2020 attack, for which he has been charged, offers chilling insight, if true, into the suspect's capacity for violence. The victim, who reportedly had known Bryan for more than 19 years, was entering her home in Norwich about 3 a.m. when the accused pressed metal against her head and ordered her to open the door, prosecutors have alleged. Bryan is accused of raping the woman 3 times. Before leaving the complainant's house, Bryan is alleged to have threatened her and her family. If you talk and them catch me, me go make me people them deal with you, your son and your family, he is reported to have said. Bryan is said to have placed the gun he was carrying under a pillow during the alleged sex acts. Regarding the Bath abductions, Byfield said that Bryan would be subject to an identification parade as the child victims have only used his alias Blackout to describe him. The minors, who have been undergoing medical care since their rescue, are to be transferred to a safe house until the suspect is detained. Both have shared that they were held from behind and threatened with a knife to their neck. Admitting his belief that Bryan may have fled Bath by now, resident Arthur Clayton shared that he is still keeping an eye out for the suspect. What they did up and down all boat I look for him. But from them find the next girl, me really go back in the bush. But I work on the riverside, so me still on the lookout, looking up in trees and so forth, said Clayton. Don't me not think he's still in the community, but then we catch him. Expressing fear that the abductor may attack again, another resident, Omar Minot, said that he'll not rest easy until the suspect is held. I'm not going to leave my machete or knife when we walk with my children, and I'll never stop until them find this boy and get my mind at ease, so my babies can walk free as they normally would, said the father of 3. We can't live with him, so we have to continue searching. Encouraging security personnel to continue accompanying residents on the manhunt, Minot warned that civilians unused to combat might become prey if they engage with Bryan. The images of machete-wielding residents have sparked urgings from the police for restraint, especially after Levi Chambers was mobbed to death in Llandough, St. Thomas on October 20 in what has been a case of mistaken identity. Teen shot dead, motorcycle deliveryman injured in St. James attack. 2 motorcycle deliverymen remain hospitalized in serious condition following a deadly shooting in Flanker, St. James last night. One is 22 years old of Paradise, Norwood, and the other is 23 years old of a Farmites address, both in St. James. 19-year-old Damien Smith of a Flanker address succumbed to the gunshot injuries he received during the attack. The police say shortly after 10 p.m., the 3 men were walking along a section of Seaview Drive in Flanker when they were ambushed by a group of gunmen. The gunmen opened fire, hitting all 3 victims, then escaped on foot. The Coral Gardens police were summoned, and the wounded men transported to the Conway Regional Hospital, where Smith was pronounced dead. Little John killed in St. Thomas crash. The St. Thomas police are probing the circumstances surrounding a crash that claimed the life of 24-year-old John Sterling, otherwise called Little John. Sterling, a tailor of Pond Side District, Yallas, St. Thomas, died yesterday after a crash on the Hearties Main Road in the parish. The Yallas police say about 11 a.m. Sterling was driving a Toyota Corolla motorcar when he allegedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a utility pole. He received multiple injuries and was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Motorist to get $6 million after cop wrongfully had a vehicle seized. The government is to pay $5.8 million with interest to a motorist whose minibus was seized by the police on January 18, 2020 because he refused to pay a record fee of $18,000. Following the seizure of his Toyota Coaster bus at the 3 Miles intersection in Kingston 11, Ronald Thompson brought a suit in the Supreme Court against the Attorney General and Constable Anderson who had seized his bus. Thompson said in court documents that the policeman, who was dressed in uniform, stopped him. He came out of the vehicle and noticed a wrecker parked nearby. After inspecting the vehicle documents, the policeman then demanded that Thompson pay $18,000 in record fees or his vehicle would be seized. Thompson told him that he had no money to pay him. The vehicle was placed on the wrecker and driven away. Thompson said he was not charged with any breach of the Road Traffic Act or any offense that would warrant the seizure. The next day, Thompson went to the Olympic Gardens police station where he saw Constable Anderson and demanded his vehicle and the related documents. Thompson said the policeman again demanded the record fee before the vehicle could be released. Thompson retained the services of attorney-at-law Dr. Garth Little, who on January 23 last year wrote to a senior police officer and to Constable Anderson demanding the return of the vehicle. However, the request was not granted. In the suit, which was filed on February 24 last year, Thompson saw $10 million in compensation for loss of use of the vehicle. The vehicle was subsequently returned following a Supreme Court order made on November 9 that year. Lawyers from the Attorney General's Department opposed the amount being sought for compensation. Acting Supreme Court Judge Tanya Mott Toller-Reed assessed damages in the matter and last month ordered that the defendants pay $5.8 million for loss of income with interest at 3% from January 29, 2020 to September 29, 2021. Legal costs were also awarded to the complainant. Commenting on the case Thursday, Little said that he considered the incident a flagrant breach of the law. The only time the police will break the law, will understand and take heed, is when they are compelled to pay a part of the judgment money, he said. Gordon Town Main Road officially reopened. The Gordon Town Main Road in East Road, St. Andrew, which was severely damaged by heavy rains, was officially reopened on Friday by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. We have resurfaced the road up to basic standards, and it has been properly marked and properly graded, so the people who live and traverse through this area have greater convenience and safety, Holness stated. He was speaking at the official opening ceremony at the site along the Gordon Town Main Road. Holness pointed out that he was pleased that the project was completed on time and under budget. The initial budget was projected at $187 million. The project saw the construction of a retaining structure over 24 meters high. This structure consists of 3 tiers, a reinforced concrete foundation that is 1.7 meters by 5.7 meters wide, a reinforced concrete retaining wall that is 9.3 meters high, and a reinforced concrete wall with a base that is 2.5 meters high by 9.5 meters wide, with the main structure being 10.5 meters high by 7.7 meters wide, he disclosed. Member of Parliament for East Road St. Andrew, Juliet Holness, said the Gordon Town Main Road was a major concern because of the level of traffic that traverses the road. So, residents, I thank you for putting up with us for the period. And guess what? You are richer for it. You are better for it. Because now we have a sustainable strong wall built right here, she noted. Meanwhile, a resident from Gordon Town said he was thankful for the new road because it was hard walking and carrying goods on the alternate route, so I appreciate it, definitely. I give it 200 years before it can collapse again. The National Works Agency oversaw the planning, execution, monitoring and closing of the project in collaboration with NF Barnes Construction and Equipment Company Limited and Kinetic Engineering Services. 132 new COVID cases in Jamaica, 12 more deaths. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 132 new COVID-19 cases and 12 deaths on Friday, October 29, bringing the local infection total to 88,907 and the virus death toll to 2,229. The new cases comprise 84 females and 48 males with ages ranging from 6 months to 91 years. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine 38, Kingston and St. Andrew 31, St. Elizabeth 14, Clarendon 12, Portland 8, Manchester and Westmoreland 7 each, St. James 5, Hanover and St. Mary 3 each, St. Thomas 2, St. Anne and Trelawney 1 each. The deceased are a 77-year-old female, a 54-year-old male, a 76-year-old male, a 78-year-old male, a 96-year-old male, and a 78-year-old male from Westmoreland, a 69-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 57-year-old female from Hanover, a 57-year-old male, a 55-year-old male, a 60-year-old female, and a 71-year-old male from Westmoreland. The deaths occurred between July 7 and October 28, 2021. In the meantime, 181 more people recovered in the last 24 hours, bringing total recoveries to 57,732. Currently, 296 people are hospitalized, 27 of which are severely ill, while 10 are critically ill and 71 are moderately ill. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.